Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ashes Forum Watch, the show where we take a look at the various discussions happening on the Ashes of Creation official forums to see what the community is saying about them. I'm your host, Wandering Mist, and today we are talking about accommodation for players with challenge. This is all about people who have got various disabilities that make it harder for them to play and enjoy the games that they love. Going to start off here then with Walalaboom, who says, as someone with carpal tunnel syndrome, my hand becomes easily stressed and tense when I click too much. I'm hoping certain aspects of the gameplay and progression could tailor to an audience preferring less intensive mouse/keyboard actions. This is a very valid point. We have seen from the gameplay already that there will be a lot of mouse clicking involved, as that's how you primarily use your weapon skill. You're going to be spamming that quite a lot. So I can easily see how that would aggravate somebody with carpal tunnel or other such disabilities. So a couple of suggestions that he has is, for example, a build where the preparation is more important, finding the right equipment, keys or items, than in the actual intensive gameplay in combat. The other thing they'd like to see is more emphasis on activities where success isn't inherently dependent on the intensity of the actions. For example, puzzles, parlor games, or economy-based activities. These are all things that, of course, can be included without affecting the core gameplay experience, and I think it's very important to highlight those. Nanfoodle also brings up a point that has been brought up in the past, but I think it's worth reiterating here. He says, I have asked much the same questions because of my wife's disabilities. I would like to see third-party macros allowed for people who apply for the right to use them because of disabilities. I know that Intrepid have said absolutely no macros, and a lot of people are in favor of that. However, in this specific example, I think that macros would be a good thing. Mukmakmuk agrees with this. He says, I don't want macros or scripting in the game for any reason except making the game more inclusive for those with a disability. If someone with a genuine disability contacts Intrepid, explains their difficulties, and then Intrepid is prepared to, for example, code some assisting macros or monitor the player to ensure that no unfair advantage is given, then I would be completely cool with that and I would never have to know about it. I would be happy to leave it with Stephen and his conscience. And yes, I completely agree with this. I feel that, as we've seen, macros can be very detriment to a game, but in this specific example, as long as it's closely monitored and the player can prove their disability to Intrepid, I'm perfectly fine with them being able to use certain macros to help them enjoy the game more. Finally, it's been brought up that some people physically cannot use a standard keyboard and mouse, which means that they rely on things like controller support. This is another thing that a lot of people don't like because they feel it dumbs down the game. I personally don't think it does, but I can see where that attitude does come from. However, I do still think controller support or even other third-party peripherals are very important. Enigmatic Sage comes in and says, I believe it's a very common issue in the gaming world. I imagine they will allow variants of peripherals and their designs for key bindings and proper utilization. For example, I know in some MMORPGs you can use foot pedals and alternative peripherals such as controllers versus a mouse and keyboard. I have seen the controllers by Microsoft as an example becoming more customizable with joystick and paddle variants, triggers, additional buttons on the back sides of the controllers, etc. Pairing something like that with foot pedals could help aid those with challenges to gaming and peripherals. Good idea, bringing it forward to the community's attention though. And yeah, I do think it is a very important topic. I hope that Intrepid can take some inspiration from this, maybe even reach out to these players and see how they can accommodate them more. I'd love to see that and be able to have more people included in this fantastic game. But I'm curious to know your thoughts on this, so put a comment down below on what you think can be done to make the game more inclusive for people with various conditions. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Ashes of Creation related content. For now though guys, have a fantastic day and I will see you next time.